Hey guys, welcome back. I'm back. Yes. Thanks for tuning back in. I'm going to go back into it. I'm going to talk about ADHD and dyslexia, my experience. How did I get diagnosed? So I've always noticed that I've been always very, very quirky since I was a kid. I was always different, always daydreaming, always got lost, always forgetting things, losing things, even losing myself. One time me and my mum and my siblings went to Butlins. If anyone, shout out to the 90s babies that knows about Butlins. So there's one time I went Butlins and I don't even know what I was staring at. All I know is I was looking at something and the next minute I look, mummy's not there. And this not just happened once, twice, happened bare times. I'm in the supermarket. I'm looking up, looking at something. I look to the right, look to the left, mummy's not there. Mummy's frantic looking for me. She always finds me. There's one time I had to almost get police involved, security, because I just kept getting lost. And that, obviously, I think you had to do a park announcement when I was in Butlins. Has anybody lost a child? Yeah, I was that kid, bro. And also some other things I noticed as a child, I was very hyperactive. I was very good at sports. I was good at sports. I've always loved sports, good at sports, loved running, loved being active, loved football, loved everything. I loved to hang out with the boys. But unfortunately, the bad side was, actually, let me continue. The good thing is that, if I found someone I was interested in, I'd be engaged for hours and hours. Actually, me paying attention in school wasn't a problem. Now, the problems arose that my mum noticed, but she thought it was because I was just a naughty kid, was that my emotions would go up and down. I'll be angry and I'll be really sad, really hyper, really quiet, just up and down. Especially with anger. I used to get angry as a kid, quick. I think that's a personality thing though. And also, I used to daydream a lot. I'll be daydreaming. That's why I used to get lost, because I'll be daydreaming, paying attention to something, and then, yeah. But I did good. I was good at academia. I was so good at academia. I used to skip years. I was good at exams. When I was in Nigeria, I did one of the state exams. I got the highest in my state, Abia State. This is years ago. I was a very smart kid. I'm not tooting my own horn. I was really good at school. So when you're really good at school, no one's really going to pay attention. If you're going A's, A stars, what's the problem? Now the problem started when I was in medical school. First year was very shaky, okay? Didn't help I was in a toxic relationship, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. What was like being a medical student in a toxic relationship, because I'm trying to humanize being a medical student and doctor. So first year was very shaky. It was very chaotic. Second year was okay. Now the problem started in fourth year. So what I noticed in medical school is that when patients were talking to me, or people were talking to me, I would just lose track of what they're saying. I would daydream, not because I'm not interested. It's so much so that if someone's saying a lot of things, it was very hard for me to pick at what they were saying. And so I would daydream, or I'll miss. When I'm daydreaming, it's not like I'm thinking of something else. It's like I just go blank. And then I forget what they've spoken to me about. And some of the other things as well, I'll have lots of thoughts in my head. And I'm thinking, but it's either that there's so many thoughts in my head, my mouth can't catch up, so I end up stuttering, or what I say doesn't make sense. Or I lose track of what I'm saying. My thoughts are going so quick. It's like I just freeze and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot what I'm talking about. It's like I missed the train of thoughts. Or sometimes, even now it's happening right now. I don't know if that makes sense. So these things kept happening. And the other things that kept happening, I was losing things. I used to lose things when I was a younger teenager, lose my phone, lose that and this and that. But at medical school, I was losing things on a weekly basis, and that's costing me money. I'm losing books, I'm losing keys, I'm losing clothes, I'm losing this, I'm losing that. I was losing my mind. I'm joking. And then when I'll lose track of time. I'll wake up on time, but for some reason, I'm always late. No matter how early I wake up. And I always think I have enough time, but then by the time I realize I'll be late. I used to mix up my timetables, mix up my my assignments. I wouldn't read the briefings properly because I'm sure it says dot dot goose, but apparently it said dot fox goose fox. I'm just giving an example. So I'll be, and then I'll come out with a low mark. I'm like, what is this? And I used to struggle with reading long documents. Like, I'll read long documents and I'll miss out crucial piece of information that when there's an issue and they get back to me, I'll say, well, I didn't know that. So this kept happening during medical school. Now, it all went to poop in 4th year when, so in my old medical school, I won't say where I went, they do assessments. They basically assess. There's a lot of things that make up assessments. I think we had 13 different areas of assessments in 4th year, which is crazy. Actually, I don't know why y'all doing that. What is, because there's too many different things happening, my brain will get confused. I was getting confused, missing things, being late for different deadlines, forgetting to do things. So it got to a particular class, simulation training. I'm not going to talk about what that is, but basically simulation training is that they use a robot dummy to teach us how to treat sick patients in an emergency, so that when it comes to real thing, we know what to do. So I remember looking at my timetable. So this is when, at this point, my brain is jumbling up information, words, dates. I used to always get dates wrong, this and that mixed up. So I don't know, that day, I remember I woke up early and I was sure that I was free in the morning. And then something in my chest, I bet that was the Lord, was like, just look at your timetable again. I looked at my timetable. I saw that I had a simulation session. Now, when I looked, it was 10 minutes. Now, where they do simulation training, it was 20 minutes away by bike. If I tell you the way I did a Tour de France speed to the place where they did simulation training, I was very late. Another day I'll talk about what happened during that session, because actually that in itself is another story, what happened after that. So it comes to OSCEs, end of year OSCEs, and we're revising. I'm trying to revise, but there's just so many things to do. I'm trying to plan an elective and trying to plan, revise OSCEs, do exams, and do a clinical audit, and student selector study, trying to do a presentation. There was so many things going on. I think I was just on autopilot, and I didn't know. I was lost. I was really lost. I just lost finances. I didn't know what was going on, money. I just didn't know. And also I was going for a breakup at the time. So it was just so many things happening. And it got to my OSCEs and I failed. And even before I failed the end of year OSCEs, I failed like certain OSCE stations throughout the year. I just kept failing. I kept failing communication skills. Procedures were fine, but communication skills, I kept failing. I failed my reset really badly, actually. And when I had a meeting in the summer, God bless this woman, this cute, this advisor, she's a white lady. She really saved my career, bro. She saved my course. She saved me. God used her. She sat me down and she noticed a pattern in my scores. She noticed that certain stations I was getting wrong. The ones about knowledge, I was getting full marks, good marks. The ones about knowledge, data interpretation, radiology, whatever, interpreting medical data. Okay, I was doing that right. But the ones where I got to talking to people, I got very low marks, like 4 out of 25, 8 out of 25. And she's like, that doesn't make sense. You're clearly not stupid. She didn't say that, but she was like, you're clearly very knowledgeable. What's going on? So I told her that apart from the personal things of breakup, this and that, I said, I don't know what it is. When I talk to patients or when I'm really stressed, my mind blanks out. Like when I'm trying to talk, my mind, it's like I don't know what I'm saying. I forget what I'm saying. Or when or because there's so many thoughts going through my head, there's so many thoughts. I don't know which thought to pick out and express. So it will just come out jumbled. It wouldn't make sense to someone. But that's because I'm trying to catch the thoughts before I forget about what I'm talking about. And I just, so in an exam, it will seem like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm talking about. So she, based on that, she said, and then she asked me what my personal life. She said, tell me about your personal life, about the stress. What are the other stresses? I say, well, I keep forgetting to do assignments. I keep running late. I'm late for this. I'm late for that. I'm getting things messed up. I'm getting my schedule messed up. I'm losing things. I don't know what's going on. My emotions are up and down. I was going for anxiety and depression. Like, I just didn't know what was going on. I told her all these things. And then she gave me this questionnaire. She said, do you want to fill this out? I said, okay. I just filled it out. I was like, okay. She didn't tell me what it was. And then after I filled it out, it was a long meeting. She was just like, I think you got ADHD and dyslexia. And I was like, no way. Not me. Girl, I ain't got ADHD and dyslexia. But part of me was just like, hold on a second, listen to her. I said, really? She said, a lot of people with ADHD and dyslexia, a lot of intellectual people are neurodivergent. And that's why they do well in life. Now, what happens is, and the intellectual neurodivergent people, they've developed coping skills from when they're kids, because obviously they're smart, they can overcompensate. So no one had ADHD and dyslexia because I could spell. I was very good at maths. But when I spoke to her, I said I was not good at English. My English, I used to get D minuses, until one of my teachers, she coached me for a whole semester, a whole term in secondary school in year 9. And then after that, I've been getting A stars and A's. And she said, what do you mean you're getting D's? I said, well, she said my content made sense. My content was A-star quality, but the grammar and the information was so scattered, disorganized, that it was a D. It was like an E in terms of grammar and organization of thoughts. So she knew that I had so much stuff in my brain, so much information in my brain, but I just didn't know how to get out. So based on that, she said, okay. She was like, okay, it sounds like you have ADHD and dyslexia. And then that was the beginning of my journey towards being diagnosed with ADHD and dyslexia.